Hey, Shutter Squad. Welcome back to The One Behind the Lens. This is actually going to be a little bonus episode, and it's going to wrap up season two before we officially kick off season three on June 12th, which honestly feels wild to say. First of all, I want to thank you. Thank you for listening this season. Thank you for hanging out with me in your car rides, your editing marathons, your walks, your shoots, your laundry folding moments. I am just so happy that you are here. Season two has been such a cool season. We added video, we had incredible guests, we had honest conversations, and honestly, I feel like this podcast has become such a reflection of where I am in life and my business right now. And today, I wanted to sit down and talk about something really personal and really big for me. I am officially closing my current studio location. Yep. After being in this space since March of 2012, it's time. And honestly, I feel really good about it. When I first got this studio, my business looked so different than it does now. Back then, I photographed babies, little kids, families, tiny humans everywhere. There were props and blankets and tiny chairs and all the things. My studio made complete sense for that season of business, and I loved it. I poured my heart and soul into creating that space. There are so many memories in those walls. So many laughs, so many nervous seniors, so many dance photos, so many branding sessions, so many conversations, and probably a few tears too, because let's be honest, photographers become unofficial therapists sometimes. And I'm incredibly proud of what I built there. Truly. Here's the thing nobody really talks enough about in business in general. Your business is allowed to evolve. What worked for you in 2012 might not fit you in 2026, and that's okay. Over the years, my business shifted naturally. I stopped photographing babies and little ones as much. I started leaning more into seniors, branding, headshots, commercial work, podcasting, content creation, education, all these different things that honestly don't require a giant studio space the way my business once did. And if I'm being honest, I haven't been using the studio the same way for a while now. This wasn't just some overnight emotional, like panic decision. I've actually been thinking about this for years. And a few months ago, I finally just thought, what am I waiting for? Like, seriously, what is better than the present? And weirdly enough, it really wasn't a hard decision. I think people expect it to be emotional or dramatic or this huge, scary thing. I even had someone be like, "Well, what happened? What's going on?" Nothing's happened except what I just kind of told you, kind of gave you that backstory. Right now, the point in my career, I just know who I am as a business owner. I have established a business. People know where to find me. I'm active on social media. My website is current and alive and updated. I don't need a storefront to prove I'm a professional photographer. And I think that's an important thing for photographers to hear. You do not need a giant studio space to have successful photography businesses. You just don't. I know some absolutely killer photographers who work from home, shoot outdoors, rent incredible studio spaces when needed. They travel all over the country and create amazing work without ever signing a long-term lease. There's so many ways to build a business now. And that freedom it's actually very exciting for me. I actually just told Tim not too long ago how excited I was about this, and he actually was like, "You are." I am. I'm very excited. I'm not scared. Like it's a little scary, but I've done scary things in my life before. So I'm just very excited about this. So now, does this mean I'll never have another space? Nope. I might absolutely open another space someday, but if I do, it's going to look a little different. It might be more of an office vibe, a space to meet clients, a creative workspace, a small headshot area, something that fits where my business is now instead of where it used to be. I've also fallen in love with using like rentable creative spaces in Lincoln and Omaha and actually other little towns. There's some amazing studios out there, and I've already got to use one and I loved it. And so I have options. And I think that's the biggest message I want this episode to be about. If you're a photographer, you have options too. As photographers, sometimes we get stuck on what we think success is supposed to look like: the fancy studio, the giant space, the huge setup, the pressure to keep growing bigger, 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 bigger. But sometimes growing actually looks like simplify. Sometimes growth looks like pivoting. Sometimes growth looks like letting go of something good to make room for something even better. Now, listen, there is a hard part of this. The hardest part of this entire thing is the moving. Oh my gosh. 14 years in one space, you accumulate stuff. And photographers, especially, are like little creative hoarders. I'm finding props from approximately 14 lifetimes ago. And I'm thinking to myself, why do I still own baby hats? Why are there random frames everywhere? Tim found some mini cans of silly string that he was wondering why I had. How many command hooks does one human need has come out of my mouth. But more than anything, I'm excited, like really excited, because I feel like I'm stepping into a new season and I have big plans, of course. That's all I'm going to say for right now. But there are things happening behind the scenes that I cannot wait to share with all of you. This podcast is going to be part of that journey too. So if you've been listening to this podcast because you're in a season of change too, maybe this is your reminder that you're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to outgrow things. Allowed to change direction, and you're allowed to build a business and a life that fits who you are now, not who you were 14 years ago, and not who you think people think you should be. So thank you again for being part of season 2 of The One Behind the Lens. This podcast has become one of my favorite creative spaces, and I cannot wait for what's coming in season 3. Again, season 3 officially launches June 12th, so make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to podcasts and over on YouTube, because yes, we are keeping the video version going. And of course, I'll keep you all updated on the moving chaos, the next chapter, and all the behind the scenes adventures along the way. Until next time, my friends, keep creating, keep evolving, and keep showing up as the one behind the lens. Shut up and